Hello everybody! Today we're doing some embroidery stitching onto a piece of cardstock to create a scrapbook background. So we're going to do these little tulip stitches and I'll talk you through how to do them. First thing you need to know is that for each stitch I've done I've used 3 strands of embroidery thread. So I split these down before I began. Usually in a strand you'll get 6 strands, in a length of thread you'll get 6 strands, and I've just split them down into 3. This will work with pretty much any kind of thread you like. It's just all down to the size of the holes in the needle you use. Before I begin, I pierce 4 holes in a diagonal diamond pattern, in a diamond shape, one at the top, one at the bottom, one to the left, one to the right. And as you saw before, when I cast on my thread, I don't put a knot in the back, because if you pull too hard and you pull that knot through, it pierces the paper, makes the hole bigger, and you can't repair that. So I like to stick mine down. I use washi tape for that, and I just stick it down to the end and stitch through it. So now I've finished that first stitch and explained everything to you, we're going to go on as to how to actually create the stitch itself. It's very simple. First things first, I go through the bottom stitch. I create a loop with the thread around my thumb and go back in through that bottom hole. Then I come in through the top hole, catch through the loop, and then stitch it back into that top loop, and that creates what's called a chain stitch. And very simply, I go in the left hand side and then into the bottom hole, right hand side into the bottom hole. Really simple. And if you look at the close-ups of it, you'll see it really easily. So again, through the bottom hole, make a loop. Go in through the top hole, go through the loop and pull that. Don't pull it too tight, and then you go back through that top hole, and then we're going to go in through the right hand hole, back through the bottom hole, up through the left hand hole, and back in through the bottom hole again, and that creates that tulip stitch. So I'll take you through that again. We're going to go up through the top hole of the diamond, up through the bottom hole of the diamond, loop it around my thumb, back through that bottom hole, up through the top hole, through the loop, and then back in through the top hole. You don't need to pull it tight. That little stitch at the top should always show. You should have like a little gap in between the loop. Up through the right hand hole, in through the bottom hole, up through the left hand hole, and in through the bottom hole. So I will there are plenty of tutorials for this stitch. It's called a tulip stitch, like I said before. I'll try and link up some tutorials for you, or you can go on Pinterest or Google. It's a really easy stitch, but it's really effective. So I'm going to speed through this, and as you'll see in the close-ups as we come to the end, you'll see how it should look at the end. It's really difficult to do this as a close-up video, so I've done it this way with the explanation, and you can see other videos that will give you the full thing. Like I said before, I pre-pierced the holes in diamond shape for each stitch, and I've tried to make it as random as possible. There's not really any uniformity to it. There's a few clusters. I've also left a space in the middle-ish, roughly where I'm going to put my photo and do some embellishment, because I don't really want to cover up all the stitches that I've taken the time to do. I don't mind covering up some, but I don't really want to cover up all of them. You can see the close-up here. You can see there's a loop with 2 little arms coming out, and it's caught down by that top stitch. So hopefully that makes all the sense in the world now. If not, drop me a message and I'll try and talk you through a bit further. So this is where my photo is going to go. Top left hand corner ish. I'm going to mat it onto this Maggie Holmes Flourish collection paper. It's from the 6x8 pad. I just want a thin line going round. I'll get that stuck straight down. So that's going to pull the photo so that it doesn't blend into the background too much, and then it's all about the embellishment. That's what I'm on to. I like to pull out my stickers and just things that I think may or may not work. I've got transparencies, I've got label stickers, I've also got this little chipboard cup. Now I've had this for about 10 years now. It needs to go on a layout. Use it or lose it. So I'm going to put that to the side. I've taken out the heart from the middle. I've taken out the offcuts of the chipboard, and I'll put them away for a different day. I've also got a few bits of washi tape out, some little labels, and well, yeah, basically just bits. I do really wish that free hugs label said free hugs in a mug, but it doesn't. The photo of the tea and the story I'm capturing is actually about sleepy tea. So our entire family has always had sleepy tea, whether it's chamomile or just a general tea, before we go to bed. So that's the bit I'm capturing, hence the dream transparency. I'm going to use these labels just on different areas, and because I haven't fully stuck down my photo with the matting, I'm able to go back in and just add some strips of washi in the 3 areas that I've chosen to. Now I just need to choose where I'm going to pop the chipboard. That's the word I'm looking for. I've also put a small square of that flourish paper behind the heart. It helps to tie everything in together. It makes it a little bit different. I'm going to tuck it just behind the photo. You know, I've got a bit of depth to it because of the stitching, which is holding it forward a bit. So there's no harm in doing that with the chipboard. Really simply embellished. I'm not far off finished. Don't you just love it when you embellish simply? So the title for this is Sleepy Tea. I'm using some October Afternoon Mini Market letter stickers because I absolutely love them and I've got tons. I also have these really large letters and I really want to use them, but they're just not going to fit this layout. It's just not going to work. So I'm going to stick with the October Afternoon letters. I'm going to use those. I also have some empty tea bags and I'm going to stick those in. I've pulled out 4. They're going to go in each of the little embellishment clusters with the string just hanging down loose. I'm also going to tuck one of these into the teacup itself, have the tag hanging down and add a tag to it. So I've actually collected a tag from one of my Sleepy Tea Time tea bags, and that'll be added right at the end. There we go. So I'm trying it in different places, give it a shot in different areas. I did keep the actual packaging for the bag, but it's just not going to work for me. It's just not quite right for this layout, and in all fairness, also the wrong colours. Now, I had originally put the label down at the bottom left-hand corner, but then I had the idea to put a tea bag in the actual cup. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I've put I have the tea bag itself, and I'm just going to tuck that in behind the chipboard and have the string coming out from the centre, as you can see, and then just stick the tag onto the bottom of that. And that's the layout. So nice little embroidered background using some embroidery threads. It's hand stitched all the way through. I really hope you enjoyed this layout. I'd love to see what you think. Leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and thank you very, very much for watching. Take care. Bye.